All right. So I know we're covered behind this little live broadcast thing, but we started early just to make sure that our sound is okay because we've been experimenting today. And so if there's any issues, please tell us. I don't know what we can do about it, but all right. We see a few people on here. Hi, Karen and Anita. And then people use other words, other names, and I'm like, well, I don't know what your name is. So hello, people. And just let us know if you can hear us okay. And then we are going to start right on at 1 o'clock. Thanks, Gail. Appreciate it. All right, is it 1 o'clock yet? Just about.
Oh, this is Diana.
Oh, hi, Diana. That helps. All right.
Almost one.
Yeah. All right, we got lots of people on today. Hello from Florida. All right, I'm glad the sound's good. All right, why don't we take that off and then we can. Do you remember how to take it off?
Yes.
Hi. There we are. Hi, everybody. Trying to figure out which way to go. We were like,
we have things.
We've moved everything. So anyway, I'm Kelly with Kelly's Bead Boutique, and this is
I'm Savannah. I'm the trusty sidekick.
Yeah. And we were experimenting this morning, trying to do something really fun and really unique. And we did all kinds of stuff. And then what we didn't know is that you can do it on a Mac, but you can't do it on an iPad, which is what we film off of. So drats. So we'll try to do some things after. But anyway, it's been a really busy week around here. So lots going on, and pardon me. So what have you had going on this week?
This is like the busiest week of the year for me. So we had Halloween, which was really fun. So Grace, my daughter, is 5, and she went as the Tooth Fairy this year. And I always make her costumes by hand. My mom always did it for us when we were kids, and I'd like to carry on that tradition. So I made her this beautiful little
It was cute
Tooth Fairy costume, and she just loved it. And then the day after Halloween is her birthday. So we came home from trick-or-treating. She went to sleep, and then my husband and I, we blew up balloons and decorated the house, and then we went to sleep, and then she was up bright and early, excited that it was her birthday. And so, yeah, it was a busy day. I also made her this beautiful cake. I like to make cakes by hand too for her and for any occasion really. And it's this super cute butterfly that she asked for. So we'll put a picture in the comments. You guys let me know what you think.
Yeah, that was one of the things that we did was we found a way to import them into the this whole presentation, but it wouldn't work on the iPad. So we'll just put the pictures out on a little later. So yeah, because they were really cute.
It turned out really well.
Yeah,
I'm really happy with it. I love doing anything artsy, and beading is the next new.
I didn't realize that you made them from scratch. I thought, gosh, that's I thought you bought it.
No, I like to make them.
Well, that's awesome. That's really good. So, yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for showing up today. We appreciate it. So we have kind of a mixed bag of things today, and you never know what we'll get up to. But we're going to show you some stuff that we have on sale and some new beads that we got in. And then at the end, I'm going to do a tutorial. So if you want to hang around for the tutorial, it's just a quick little one. It's just, again, on our Wednesday programs. I'm not going to be doing really complicated things. They're just things that will maybe, spark some imagination, things that make you go, I could do that. And I will give you the names and the codes of things that I can, so that if you want to buy the parts, you can. And that's that. So, all right. So we did get just a small shipment of beads in. We've got 2 huge shipments coming in. We've got one that should be leaving, everything comes from China, right? So I've got one leaving China, I think tomorrow, and then another one probably next week. So one's going to have some beads and almost all of my findings. And then the other one is all beads. So we've got a lot coming in. So that'll be a really nice thing to have a whole pile of new beads. And a lot of the things that you really loved in the last batch I've reordered again. So I know that Aquaterra Jasper, the cornflower one that everybody clamored over, and it was sold out in like I don't know,
2 days.
2 days. I'm getting that, and I'm ordering lots. So we should be good on that. So. All right. So we did get a small shipment of Ghana glass in. So I guess if you want to pass me a strand and then you can switch me down.
Sure.
All right. I have to put my glasses on so I can read codes and things like that. All right.
Do
Do we have pearls in this delivery? Not in this one. In the second one that'll be here. It'll probably be here pretty fast because she's already given me the bill. I just have to pay for it, and then once I pay for it, they usually take about 2 days to pack up, and then it gets shipped. So I would think that would be here in 2 weeks. And I had some pearls in the last shipment, some really nice sort of 6 to 7 millimeter gray pearls. They sold out right away. Mm-hmm. So I have the gray coming back, and I've got sort of they call them mixed. They're pink, peach, and white all in one strand. And then I've got white ones coming in. So pearls are really, really expensive. So those nugget ones are a little bit more affordable. So those will be coming in. All right. Hello, Judy. Okay, so we do have in some of our new Ghana glass. And this one I like. It's such a pretty color. It's like a kind of like a caramely color. Now it is reading just a little bit darker on the screen. Let's see if I can get that so you can see it. And these are just little itty bitty ones. These are 6 millimeter, and I've called them light topaz. And the code is ABB287. And these are $12.99, but they're also part of our 50% off deal. So you don't even need coupons anymore. You just pick what you want in any of the strand sections, and you'll get them 50% off. Is there a question?
Valerie's asking about large hole black.
Oh yeah, forget it. That's never going to happen. That would probably be $100 a strand, unfortunately. Black is really, really tough to come by. Almost impossible right now in the pearl world. They've really slowed down on creating pearls, and I think that they have probably tripled or quadrupled in price since, back when I had my jewelry business. I used to use pearls a lot, and they were affordable, but now they've become unaffordable, like a lot of things. Like I asked how much 9 millimeter kyanite was, and the price would be $118. So I was like, well, we're not getting that this time. So, all right, I'll give you that one.
That's nice. Valerie still appreciates you.
Oh, thank you, Valerie. I do try. I try to bring in really nice things, but I also know that there's a threshold that people can afford. So, if you ever want them, I can always try and bring them in, but they would just be very spendy. So, what's that? Sorry.
This is a very interesting question. Why do glass beads have the white powdered coating, and can you get rid of it?
I think it's because the way that they're tumbled. They're actually tumbled in a different method than regular stones. So I think that, and because they're glass, and glass does it does leave a little bit of dust. If it really bothered you, what I would do is maybe take a damp cloth, not a wet one, and I would just run it down. But we don't really, I don't see any dust on here, but you may on some of them. Like that first one that I had a little bit more, but you could maybe dust them off a bit.
It kind of just looks like beach glass, and beach glass always has that powdered look to it almost.
Well, that's kind of what these are supposed to look like. So I'm trying to get them to, cooperate. We restring these because they come in really long strands, but then it makes it really expensive. So we restrand them, but somebody didn't really know how to restrand properly. So we have these ridiculously strange looking strands right now. But this is one of my favorites. This is ABC 290. And this is a 10 millimeter, and it's a combination of brown and blue. Go figure. Kelly likes brown and blue. You would never think that, right? So I have that on everything. So again, these are only $12.99, which is super great price because that ends up at $6.50 for at the half price. So there we go. I think these ones were Savannah's favorites.
Yeah, I love these ones.
Yeah, these ones are really pretty. So these are. I call them blue Ghana glass, but I think I gave them another color on mine, but the code is ABB417, and these are $12.99. And so that's a really nice, I think I called them denim blue. They are reading a bit darker on our screen, but you never know what they're going to be like on your screen, right? And again, the pictures that we have online are now way more representative of what they actually look like. That was one of the things we wanted to show you, was that I had Tessa take a bunch of pictures yesterday, and oh my gosh, they just look so beautiful. So if you're really trying to find what things look like, look online. They do look a lot better. So there's that.
Yeah, you can really see all the details in the new pictures.
Yeah.
Of the beads, which is nice.
And some of them we only have a few strands because it's just what the vendor has. And this one is ABB 387, and it's like a dark topaz, but it's kind of like a tortoise. It's got like a little black veining in it that probably doesn't. No, yeah, it does come up a bit on there. Hey, Nancy. So yeah, you can see some of that. So this is kind of like a nice tortoise kind of look. And again, that one is only $12.99, and it was ABB 387. So that's the Ghana glass that we got in. And then we just got in one bit of semi-precious, and these are just lovely. These are a 3 millimeter faceted amethyst, and the code is ABC282, and they're only $14.99. And look at how yummy those are. So pretty. I wonder if I can't take that off. I was going to take it off just to show the back, or show what it's like without this yellow underneath it. But then it's so bright and shiny. We're still looking for something like a better backdrop or whatever you call it. So yeah, these are so lovely, and they're just so tiny. And this is like a perfect little spacer to use on something. And it actually has a decent drill hole. It's not, the one thing about these tiny beads is they don't have large things. So you're not going to be able to get like a 20 gauge through there or something, but they'd be really nice knotted or just used as a small spacer on soft flex or something like that. So that is it as far as the new beads that we got this week.
They're so pretty.
Yeah. All right. So what's the next thing that we're going to do?
Let's talk about these.
Okay. Savannah's manning the mouse here. So Can we take that off?
Yeah.
The ticker? Take the ticker off there, and there we go. So until tomorrow night at midnight Pacific Daylight Time, which is what we are, we have Super Duos on sale. Which ones are mine?
These three are yours.
Yeah. So we picked out 3 of our favorite Super Duos to show you. Can I have that tube? Which one comes in here? Yeah. So we thought we'd show you some of our favorite ones, and we just put them in these little glasses so that you'd actually be able to see, because they look a little nicer than, shoved in tubes. So right now, if you buy Super Duos until tomorrow night, you can save 30% by using the coupon code Super Duo. So not available with any other coupons. So if you're trying to use your first time buyer discount or something like that, you can't, stack the coupons. But I think that looks pretty good. So this one, if you are looking for it, is the Jet Full Apricot, and the code is 364-25-B as in Bob 29123, and they're $4. And now often people ask us how much is in a tube. We've actually started using bags because the tubes got so expensive. But there's about 8 grams or so. But this one's beautiful because it's like a peacock kind of color. It's got a little bit of pink and green and purple.
Oil slick.
Yeah, it's so pretty. So that's one of my favorites. And then, of course,
another one of yours.
Yeah, we have to have something turquoise because that's what I love. Look at how pretty that is. I think that actually looks good in there. You can kind of see. So, well, thanks for catching us live, Marilyn. Appreciate that. We're here every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So hopefully you can come back and see us again. So this one's called a pink topaz luster turquoise, but you can barely see the pink on it. It just gives it that little lustery kind of look. And I wonder if that's better with my hand underneath.
Yeah, that's better.
Kind of makes it a little bit darker, but so this one, the code is 364-25-PT6313, and they're $4.20. So the reason I give you the code is a lot of people will send me emails after and say, what was the blue one that you held up? And then I have to remember what I did. So it's just easier to give it to you here. So, and one of the things that we did when we were trying to get the pictures on here today was I have a bunch of pictures of projects that you can use Super Duos for. There's so many just tons and tons of projects out there. So these make them is a really affordable price at 30% off. So, and I am going to have a project coming up soon, I think, on my YouTube channel. I'm hoping that I can create something. I have an idea. So, and this one I just thought was kind of fun because I love that Picasso finish. So these are the opaque red Picasso. It's so nice. You can't find this opaque red Picasso in any other beads right now, really. So this one is 364-25-T9320, and they're only $325. So there we go. There's some really pretty red ones. All right, Miss Savannah, you can show yours.
I have to show them? Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I was going to do before I forgot to tell you? I should tell you. I'll tell you live. I was going to turn this around so that the mic was more in the middle.
Oh, that would have been smart.
Yeah. So I'll just move over here so you can be closer to the mic.
Perfect. So you'll see a theme with mine. I love gold and pinks and purples. So I chose this one because it's a nice mix. Is it like one side is pink and one is gold, or they?
No, is it?
Yeah, pink, gold.
Okay. There you
go.
go.
So each side is a different color, and I thought that was pretty cool. So that code is 364-25-98544, and that is $475. It's a little more probably because of the gold.
The gold and pink, because those are two of the most expensive colors.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have expensive taste apparently. And then purple is my other favorite, and this one has like a gold shimmer to it as well, which I really like.
They kind of have a suede look to them, which is really cool.
Yeah. These ones, I don't know. I love bright. Anything bright is my jam.
What's the name of that one? Does it have it on there?
Gold Shine Orchid.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And this is Duo 502010- Z4110?
No, be probably, let me see.
That's a Z, or is it a 2?
That's a 2.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're ever typing the word duo into the search bar, it's actually DU0.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not even duo. It's just so weird the way that they come. So if you're ever trying to type it in, if you start to type and you type DUO, nothing comes up, but type DU0 and they come up. That's for
no
YouTube.
wonder it never comes up on stock for me. Okay, so this is my last, and these might come home with me today. I've never used them before, and I don't know if I ever would use them, but I just like the color so much.
They're very pretty.
Yeah, and these ones, kind of like Galaxy. I'm not really into the whole Galaxy thing, but I do like the colors that they use.
Yeah, I mean, those have got everything. There's purples and pinks and greens and blues, and it's very, very sparkly and pretty.
I'm excited to see what your tutorial that you do whenever you do one.
Yeah, it won't be with those.
No, but like how to use them.
Yes.
And so the code for this one is DU0500030-95100.
There you go. Yeah, a lot of people haven't figured out what to do with duos yet, Kathy, and there's a lot of really great projects out there. There's some simple ones. I've got a couple simple ones that I have borrowed from other designers, and I may ask them if it's okay if I teach some of them online, and because I like to create my own stuff, but I always ask, is it okay? I've got dog hair everywhere, and
or maybe repeat the number for the purple super duo.
Probably this one here. That one is DU05020-24110. If you type in Gold Shine Orchid, it probably will come up too. All right. So yeah, I'll try and find some fun things to make with the super duos. I found them very challenging at first, and then once I got used to them, I just love them. And I'm not even what I would call it like a seed beater, which is kind of what those are. So yeah. All right. So I'm going to, this is where the hard part, I have to put my glasses on, but I can't use them. So let's take that little thing off of there, that part. Okay. All right. So I'm going to make just a super, super simple project today. One of my staff has a kitty cat and was on here, and so there's black kitty cat hair everywhere.
Oh, that might be Murphy hair.
Well, we all have black. Look, it's all over me too.
Could be Henley.
Oh, I've got a spot on the front of me. Goodness gracious.
It's your dog.
I'm a mess today. All right, so I'm making a super simple project today because that's how I roll. So we're going to be using two different colors of our Irish wax linen. Oh, mine's stuck. Oh goodness, come on out of there. So I'm going to be using our charcoal. Does it come? Maybe it might be under dark gray. I don't know. We have two different names for it, but you're looking for the really dark gray or dark charcoal color if you're trying to look for it yourself. Because there will not be a kit on this one. It'll just be one that you get to pick yourself. What's that say?
Huge super duo.
Yeah, well, that's great, Terry. And the color that we're using here is Dodger Blue. Okay, so those are the two that we're using today. And I'll just pull some of that off in a second. And then I'm going to be using these little bars. This is a little bar that I'm going to dangle in the middle. And the code on this is just bar 9. We don't have very many, but I will bring some back in stock. So there's just, I think there's only like 12 of them right now. And then I'm going to be using one of Tierra Cast's little Tree of Life. And then I've got, one of their toggles. And then I have these little, what size are these? These are 10 millimeter, 10 by 7 millimeter ribbon end. You can use the more expensive ones, but I just wanted to keep this really affordable. The best place to buy these on our website are under the $5 findings. And then you just go to ribbon ends. And then you get a bag of, I don't know how many are in there.
I think like
25 or something like that.
15 or 25.
Yeah, you get lots for $5. And then if you buy multiple bags of things, you get them for $4. So they're a really good price on there. So
Kathy's asking, what size is this?
which one you're saying this? What are you talking about, Kathy? Which one are you asking about? Because there's a delay from when we talk and when the comments come up, so we don't always know what people are asking. So I'm also going to be using some head pins. I've got these with a little ball on them, and I think I only need, 2, but I always keep an extra one around in case something goes awry. And then we're going to be using some jump rings today, and I always keep lots of these little jump rings around when I'm creating because that's my favorite one. So if you're looking for these on our website, you'll look, I don't know what the code is, like 2544 or something, but they're the ones that I'm trying to get all this dang dog hair off of here. It's driving me nuts.
The Irish linen. Oh no, this is suede.
That's suede. That's just,
people are asking for the code,
of
the
what?
number of for the cord and what
Oh,
size.
just look under vegan suede. It's only one size and there's like 20 different colors.
Yeah,
so
there's tons of colors.
Yeah, so you can just find all the different colors. It's just look under vegan suede under our stringing supplies, okay? And then I've got one large jump ring because I need a little bit heavier one. And then I have 2 different colors of beads that I'm going to dangle. I'm going very sort of monochromatic today. So this one is 1-04 CT6315, and it's our turquoise copper, and it's really pretty. It's got that beautiful turquoisey color with a bit of coppery kind of color in there, just what it says. And then I'm going to be using this is a 4 millimeter, and then I'm using a 6 millimeter. And then this one is 1-06 CT S6390, and it's the chrysocolla stone copper. So they're very similar, but they have a little bit different tone to them. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And then for our tools, we are going to be using a pair of chain nose pliers. I just got to scoot over just a bit there. Sorry, I'm really crooked and it's hurting my back. I'm an old lady, And then I'm going to be using a pair of cutters and some bent chain nose pliers and a pair of round nose pliers. All right. So what I'm going to be doing is just cutting some of my vegan suede, and I'm going to make this one to fit a bit of a larger wrist. So I don't know, or maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. We'll see what we end up with here. So I'm going to cut these pieces about 5 3/4 inches. Now that does sound very small, but I'm going to be adding jump rings and a lobster clasp. So there's about there. And I'm going to cut the first one. And that's how I scientifically measure. I use my thumbnail. I'm not very, good at the whole making sure everything's perfect. All right. So I've got one piece there, and then I'm going to line this one up. Just kind of get those to match up. And I just run my fingers down to make sure I'm on camera there. Now, you probably should use scissors, but if you know me, you know that I don't have scissors ever.
Why shouldn't you use the thing you're using right now?
The cutter?
The tool, yeah.
You can, but it does. The thing with flush cutters is that it's flush on one side and it's tapered on the other. So you'll end up with a bit of a, like you can maybe see it on this piece here. It's kind of got like a bit of a V on it.
Oh, interesting.
And there's nothing really wrong with that. But, when you're cutting stringing supplies, you probably should use scissors. But I'm a typical artist in that I use what I have sitting in front of me. So again, this is a super easy project. You can't really get much more easy. Now you will see that when I've got that in my hand, how those are both going different directions. So I'm going to turn that to make sure that all three of my pieces are going in the same direction because I don't want to fight with this. And then when you put it on, it just won't fit nicely. So I'm going to line up all three ends. Now, if you're somebody that worries about things, what you could do is you could take a little bit of your favorite glue, whether that be GS Hypo or super glue, or probably on this, I would use Loctite. You could run a little band of glue around the end and then put on your ribbon end. But I never do. But if you're just, maybe if you're selling your stuff and you're worried that it might come apart, just pop a little bit of glue on there. Just don't go too much because when you put this on, it'll squish out. So I've just lined up the three on the end, or sorry, so they're all even there. And then I'm going to take my little ribbon end and pop it on, and I lined it up right on the edge. And then I start to squish it with my fingers because I've got strong enough hands. And then I'm just going to get my chain nose pliers. Now you never want to go up here. We're just kind of go there. And I kind of get it started just to make sure that it's all even. So this is almost a perfect, like these are 3 millimeter wide. So we have 1 millimeter left over. So you just kind of want to center that in between. And then you just start squishing. Now, the reason it holds is because they have little teeth. So you can kind of come in there and squish those teeth in. And I just kind of work my way up and down, but I never go up top here because that's the part that we need to put our jump rings through. And you don't want to mess that up. So pretty easy so far, right? Then I'm going to run my fingers down the end there and make sure they're all lined up. And you know what? That's close enough for me. I'm not going to fuss around and, make that all perfect because once I take this and pop it on the end, it'll line up just fine. So, there's perfectionism and then there's just plain old crazy. Or maybe it's lazy.
Are you the latter of the category?
Yeah, probably. Right now I'm tired. That's what I am. We just started our, I always say I'm tired though, but I really am. We just started the renovations on our house upstairs. So our bathroom is completely torn apart and the kitchen's half torn apart and we've got no furniture up there. We're selling off all our furniture because I'm buying all new stuff and our dog doesn't know what to do. And there's a fine layer of gyprock dust everywhere and I'm not very happy. But my husband has to sleep in one room and I have to sleep in the other because he has to get up so early. And I said, I'm not getting up early so you can have a shower. So he's sleeping in the other room, It's a process, but it'll work, right?
Worth it in the end.
Yeah. Okay, so now this is what we've got is our little bracelet. And I completely forgot to put this on the end because I was too busy jabbing. All right. You know what? There's always a way to fix things. See, even I make mistakes. So if you ever have to get these open, you can just kind of boss that open. Look at that. Whew, I got lucky. Okay, so I would need to take this little thing and pop it on. Now, it's kind of an awkward thing to look at and you're like, well, which way do I put it on? So it's got 3 holes. So it's got one like sort of looks like a rectangle and that goes through to the other side. And then that's the bottom one. So we want to make sure that we put that on first before we just do what I did there. Okay. So don't do what Kelly does.
And you can reuse the ribbon end?
Well, yes, I can because I can take them off easily, but it's not recommended to take them off and on. It's probably weakens them. But, if you're making mistakes, then sometimes you can salvage what you've made a mistake with. So now what we've got, oh, how did that come off? So I couldn't get it to go on, and then now it came off. Oh my goodness, I'm having a day. All right. So that's what we've got happening so far. So this is just a really simple bracelet, just to give you an idea. Now you could do all kinds of things. You could wrap something on either side of this to stop this from moving around. You could take a little dot of glue and stick it right there and then, pop that off on there so that you would have it sitting perfectly. But I wasn't too worried about it. So mistakes are how you learn. That's good. That's the best way to learn. All right, so now I'm going to embellish the front, and then I'm going to show you how I finish off bracelets because I do something a little different than some people. So now I have a large jump ring here. And the reason I'm using a large one is there's a lot of sort of real estate in between these two. And if I was going to try to use one of those little jump rings, it would just bind up. So you always want to use jump rings that actually kind of fit. So I'm just going to pop that through there and then on to my ring of the little slider. And if you're looking for those sliders, did I say what the code was?
I don't think you did. No.
So they're just, you would look up bar 9. And they come in 2 colors, but we don't have very many right now. Okay, so look how cute that's looking so far. So now I'm going to cut my beads off and just make little wrapped loops. So now you could do these 2 ways. You could, I think what I'm going to do is just bend that over so that it doesn't really have a neck. And then I'm just going to do a wrap loop. And I just want a very small one, so I'm going down to the front of my pliers. So I'm going to go up and over and down, rotate my pliers, and then bring that through to the back. And now you could wrap it up and then hang it using jump rings, but I think I'm just going to attach it right to this big jump ring here because I don't want a whole lot of stuff hanging on there. So I'm just going to pop that in there, and then I turn it over and put my tool right on top of that. And then I'm just going to use my thumb to wrap it around a couple times. And then if you want that little bit of a messier wrap, you can roll, kind of go back up a little bit. These head pins with the balls on the end are, I think they're like 20 gauge, and they can be a little tough to use your fingers, so I do find using a tool does help. So now I'm going to go in with the flush side. Now, again, when Svan asked it earlier, what's the problem with using them? You want to make sure you use them right when you're working with metal. So if you use the flush side, when you come in here, it actually cuts it off so that it's nice and flat versus having that peak on there, which is just a little bit nicer look. And then I'm just going to push that little burr down a bit just to kind of make sure that there's nothing there that shouldn't be. So now we've got that. And when you have them on, they're just going to kind of free float. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the small one. Hey, Susan, how you doing? It's hard for me to read the comments because my readers don't get me the right vision. It's terrible. I saw my eye doctor the other day, and I've actually developed rosacea in my eye. Did you know that that's a thing? Like who, only me. It could only be me that would get something ridiculous like that. So now I have to be on antibiotics. So,
but it'll go away.
She hopes so. So I'm just going to stack this one up on top and then see how it lays. Because I didn't really think this out too much before I decided to do it. Yeah, see, that's going to just lay off to the side. So that'll be fine. So yeah, I have to take antibiotics for the next 3 months to see if we can get rid of the rosacea in my eye. So
Kathy said that cutting fibers with your cutters might dull the blade.
yeah, it probably does. But these are ones from Softlex, and I've had these for 19 years, and they're still as sharp as the day that I bought them. So, you pretty much can't kill those suckers. All right, so I'm just going to wrap this up, and I'll just do a couple wraps down and then just 1 or 2 up. It's a good thing that these messy wrap things are really in style because when I'm live, I tend to do much messier wraps than when I'm filming.
And do you always have to go down and then back up, or can you just keep it?
You can do whatever you like. I mean, I never did that until recently. I always did just like a perfect, 2 or 3 wraps down and then just left it. But I kind of like the bit of a bulkier look. So I'm just pushing that burr down, and I often will pick up my pliers, my bent chinos pliers, and put that on the other side there because if I try to do this with my hand, I can't get in there and I don't want to crack that bead. So by putting these bent chain nose pliers like that, it gives me a lot of movement in there. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Kathy. She had cataract surgery and became colorblind.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's what I had too, Kathy, was cataract surgery, and it's just completely messed up my eyes. You know, they were trying to do something good, and it has not turned out so good. And it sounds like the same thing with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Susan, you have to be really careful when you're tucking in that burr.
Breaks things.
Yeah. Sorry, I just needed a little drink there. And it's water. Yeah, you have to be really careful. So that's a trick that you can do is isolate your piece with your pliers and then just be pushing against it. Now, one of the things I always say in my, especially in my YouTube videos where I'm very, methodical about my teaching, I say that you should have your burr coming towards you. So it's coming this way and I can see it right there because it's so much easier to try and tuck that down this way than to have it going this way, because how do you get your arm backwards and you can't see where that burr is? So it's really important to make sure that you're tucking your burrs in the right way. Okay, so that's what we've got happening so far. So now we're going to attach our toggle. Now, again, if you've watched me before, you know that I sort of have a certain way of putting on my toggles. So on one end, I will open up a small jump ring and just put on my ring part of my toggle. And I always want to make sure that I'm using the smallest and heaviest jump rings that I can. And so these ones are 4mm and 18 gauge. And the reason that I do that is because I don't want them to come off, and they're really nice and strong. Now on the other end, I don't just use one jump ring. And the reason for that is if you try and just put one jump ring on, you'll often notice when people do this, if they use one jump ring, is that if you try to just do this and then put the toggle end on, you then can't get it up through the hole of the toggle. And that's because it needs some flex. Otherwise, you put too much stress on your jewelry, and that's what causes it to break. So I always put 3 on.
Oh, so like you almost make a chain.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a chain, and that gives you that little bit extra room for getting it on. Now, the reason you have to use 3 and versus 2 is because you have to reorient it the right way. Otherwise, you're going to have your toggle going on that way, like a sideways, which is going to make it break also. So now I've got my jump rings oriented in the right way so that when I put that on, I'll do this up and then I'll show you. I always like to teach all the little tricks because those are the things that, make for better jewelry. Oh, sorry. Okay. And I don't have any springs in my tools, so I have to use my fingers. And, as you age, it's not as easy. All right. So now when you go to do that up, you'll see that that goes in there nicely. And then you just pull it up and it just creates that nice ease going in there. And also looks really nice because it's all balanced out. It looks really good. So that probably is going to fit like about a 6.5 now by the time we've got all that on, because I had 5 3/4 was my length of my um, uh, vegan suede. And then this adds on 1 1/4. So 5 3/4, 6. So that's about 7. So that makes about 7. So
So they're just wondering if you have heavier weight jump rings. So you have lots of heavy weight.
Most of mine are. So if you look into the descriptions on the actual listing themselves, so who asked that? I'm just looking. Ava Maria. If you actually look on the listing and go down into the description box, it will tell you the size and the weight of it. Now, sometimes it'll say that it is the inner diameter or the outer diameter. So these little ones that I use are the ones that I use 99% of the time. And they are 4mm inner diameter. No, yeah, inner diameter, I believe. And then 18 gauge. So 18 gauge is going to be nice and strong. This one that I used here to hold this whole bit here, because you see we've got a lot of stuff hanging in there. So I want that nice and strong. This is actually a 5mm, but that's outer diameter, and it's 16 gauge, so it's really heavy. So you have to look at the diameters of them and the gauges. So a little bit of both. But I can't remember. This one is, the code for this is, oh, I don't have it down there. I'd have to look it up. I don't have it readily available, but I'll try to maybe put it in the comment section later. But if you look at the one that says 5 millimeter outer diameter, that's the real heavy one. And then these are my most common ones, the 18 gauge 4 millimeter. So this is just a real simple little bracelet, just, something kind of cute that you could whip together for not a whole lot of money. And, you can customize it and make it yourself. Now it's pretty affordable because this vegan suede is only 50 cents for a full meter of it, which is just about 40 inches. And then these ribbon ends are pretty reasonable. So there you go. Just a little simple project. So you want to switch me back up?
Sure.
All right.
Lots of people said that they have ideas for Christmas.
Oh, good.
Yes, Christmas gifts.
Yeah. Well, we're 7 weeks away, which makes me crazy. I can't even believe it. So
my tree would be up already if your son would let me.
He's grumpy. He doesn't like trees.
Well, we get a live one. So
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the smell.
We can't have a Christmas tree. Well, for 2 reasons. We can't this year because we don't have a living room because ours is all torn up. And 2, I have a dog that likes to eat them. So I haven't had a Christmas tree properly in almost 7 years because every time I put one up, she eats it and all my expensive ornaments. Silly dog.
Last year we had a puppy and he pulled the tree down.
Nice.
Murphy, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Grabbed the lights and ran.
Dork.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go, everybody. That was just, something quick and easy to show you. That's what the Wednesdays are all about, is just kind of giving you some ideas, showing you like a few tips and techniques, and just giving you ideas on how to create quick and easy jewelry that's affordable and that you don't need a whole lot of skill set for. If you want the ones that where I have more skill sets, go to my YouTube channel that I have about 200 videos on. I always cough when I get live.
I am cold, Susan. It's cold here. It was -1 today, so
Celsius.
So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but cold. We had my windshield had ice on it today, which was
it was very cold
first
here.
Time this year. So
yeah, I woke up this morning and I was like, "Oh goodness, it's cold!" And I went and ran out to the look at the heat, and Rob had it down to 17 and a half, which is freezing here. So it was pretty cold. We went right from summer to winter. Basically, we didn't really get a lot of fall except for the trees.
No, our fall was shorts and t-shirts
yeah.
still.
Yeah, we were still running around last week.
Sweaters and slippers.
Yeah. You're in the in 80s in Alabama. Oh, goodness gracious. 16 in Ontario. Yeah. Wow. That's nice. I mean, it's beautiful out there right now.
It's really nice out today. It's crisp. It's nice. And the leaves are blowing and stuff. Yeah. It's my favorite.
I really enjoy that. So anyway, that we will let you guys go because you can go and maybe make some fun jewelry and, have a good time. If you got here late and you're wondering what we did at the beginning, I will post this and then it will save and you can watch it at your leisure later. So
and I'll post Grace's birthday cake in the comments.
We'll have that, and we'll have a couple projects for some inspiration for using the Super Duos. Don't forget that sale is on until tomorrow night at midnight our time. So it's use the code Super Duo and you will save 30% on all of your Super Duo beads. So that's it for us this week, and who knows what we'll get up to next week. So
more shenanigans.
All right. Yeah, more shenanigans. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us. I appreciate it. And so does Savannah. And we will see you soon. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.